and welcome to day 10 of the preset 6 challenge. So today is a soup day and I found a recipe on blissfulbasil.com for creamy cauliflower and, well, it's creamy cauliflower wild rice soup. The only thing I'm changing about this, really and truly, I'm really gonna make this very similar to what it calls for. The only thing that I'm changing is the wild rice part of it. I'm actually going to use oat groats instead, which we've had this discussion before, but let's do it one more time. An oat groat is what the oat looks like before they squish it. So when it comes off the plant, that is an oat groat. And then they squish it a little bit to make a steel cut oat, and then they squish it some more to make old-fashioned oats, and then they squish it some more to make instant oats. So this is its original, in the original packaging type of oat. So the reason I'm going to use those is because I really, really like the way that they get super, super creamy in a soup. And this is supposed to be a creamy soup anyway, so I'm going to use that because that's gonna be very enjoyable to me. I'm also going to add lentils to the soup at the end, a can of lentils. So they're already pre-cooked and everything like that. Because I'm excited about them, I think that that will taste really good. So let's talk about putting this soup together. It really has just two things that you have to do. That's about it. One, you put a whole bunch of stuff in your pot and you cook it, and then you put your, and then you're going to blend it with an immersion blender, and then you want to put your oat groats or your wild rice or whatever else it is that you're using in there and let it cook for a little bit. This is my way of making it. Definitely read the instructions on the recipe if you want to make it. But this is how I would make it. So let's put some soup together quick. I need to get this started so that we can get it going, because I need to cook the oat groats for like half an hour-ish. But yeah, here we go. So in my pot is going to go, it calls for 4 cups of cauliflower, frozen, fresh, doesn't matter. I'm actually going to use 2 packages of rice cauliflower, which is way more than 4 cups, but that's what I'm going to use anyway because that's what I want in my soup. I want it to be like massive amounts of vegetables. And then you want to have 2 tablespoons of oil, which you're supposed to chop up an onion and saute it with some garlic and some oil and all that good stuff. I'm going to skip that part. We're just cooking soup. So there's an onion, and I'm going to use the immersion blender on this, so I don't really care that it's not in little tiny pieces. Immersion blenders are wonderful. So we're just going to put that in there. And I am putting 3 mushrooms in there only because I had 3 mushrooms left in the refrigerator and they needed to be used. So the next thing is 3 medium carrots peeled and diced and 3 stalks of celery. So there is part of 3 carrots, and there is some more. So that looks like it's about 3 carrots. I don't have any celery, so I'm not going to be able to put 3 stalks of celery in there. I am going to sprinkle some celery seed in there though, to give it a little bit of the celery flavor. I don't measure this kind of stuff, guys, you know that. I just sprinkle in stuff a lot of times. So there's that. And then we just start doing seasonings. That's really kind of a not overly complex soup, to be honest with you. So we want 1/2 teaspoon or more of thyme and rosemary. And seeing as I'm putting in so much cauliflower, I'm actually using a teaspoon of both of these. I thought that would probably be a good idea. So there's a teaspoon of that. And a teaspoon of rosemary. These are actually rosemary leaves, but I took all of the rosemary out of here and blended it in my spice blender and put it back because rosemary comes in these little like twiggy thingies, and I don't know, I didn't really care for that. All right, and then we got 3 cloves of garlic. Oh goodness. Oh my goodness. We're just gonna put some of that in there. That's perfect. So 3 cloves of garlic. We'll talk about the water and the vegetable broth in a little bit. You need to have 2/3 cup of cashews go in here. That's part of what's making it creamy. So 2/3 cup of cashews. We want 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast. One-quarter cup of nooch. And 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. This is the lemon juice that we buy at the store. It's an organic one. So the only thing that's not in here now is black pepper to taste, which I have not done. And let's buzz through the ingredients real quick just to make sure there isn't something that I'm missing. The water. So you want 1.5 cups of filtered water and 4 cups of low sodium veggie broth. So I'm going to use a little bit of the Better Than Bouillon No Chicken base because I just had a tiny little bit of that left. I'm going to use that and some water, and I'm going to go get this cooking on the stove. Once this is cooked, I'm just gonna let it go for I'm gonna let it boil for like 30 minutes. I'm going to use an immersion blender to blend it. And then at that point, I'm going to put, it calls for a cup of wild rice. I'm just going to put half a cup. Well, let me wait and tell you after. I don't know how much I'm going to put in there. I'm either going to put a half a cup of the oat groats or a cup of the oat groats, depending upon how much soup it looks like. I don't need a ton of oat groats in there. Plus I want to add the lentils. So yeah, let's just do half a cup of oat groats. And then we're gonna let that simmer for 30 minutes. Once that is done simmering, I'm going to take it off the heat and put the lentils in there at that point and just stir it up. And ideally, what you would want to do really with this type of soup is just let it sit with the oat groats in it until it's time to eat. If you're home, mix it up a couple times during the day off heat, just with the lid on the pan, and then warm it up to eat for supper. I don't have that option because I have to go to work, so that's kind of a bummer, but that's okay. It's not gonna be an issue. I'm just going to take some with me and I will warm it up later. It won't be quite as creamy as the soup that I leave at home, but that's fine, that's no big deal. So I'm going to go put, 5.5 cups of liquid in here and get it boiling. And this morning is an oatmeal and nuts and fruit day. So I'm going to go and eat, actually, because it's 10:36 right now. So between 10 and 11, it's time for me to eat. And then when the soup is done, I will come back and I will taste test it for you so you can tell me, I can tell you what it tastes like. Obviously the oat groats won't be done, so I'll just taste the soupy part of it, not with the oat groats in it. So yeah, we'll find out if this is like delicious or not. I think it's gonna be wonderful. All the ingredients in there are like fantastic. So, alrighty guys, I'll see you in a little bit. Here is some creamy cauliflower and oat groat soup. It is very hot. And I forgot to put the lentils in before. I have the lentils in there in the pot now. This bowl does not have any lentils in it because I forgot to put it in there. I went to blow on this and I was like, oh, I didn't put any lentils in here. I meant to. So anyways, this smells fantastic. I had Anthony try it and he thought it was really tasty. I think it's really, really good. This would be, do you think this would taste awesome with corn tortilla chips?
Yeah, corn in it would taste good.
Corn in it, period. Yeah. This would be really, really good with some corn chips. They have, if you have a Trader Joe's by you, they have corn chips there that are organic tortilla chips that only have 40 or 45 milligrams of sodium per serving. I think it's 40. Oh, really good. Okay. And this should go on your list of things you should make. It's delicious. Alrighty, guys. I need to go finish getting ready for work. And like I said, let this sit on your stove for the day, and then by the time you're ready to eat supper at night, it's the oat groats have finished absorbing and everything gets super, super rich and creamy and it's wonderful. So yeah, that's it for me. I'll talk to you guys later. All right guys, so I am home from work and it is a back and bicep exercise day. There's 5 different exercises. I think that this shouldn't be too bad. Let's take a look at these exercises. But before we do that, so I forgot to tell you, so today is supposed to be bread with soup. I did not take any toast with me because I didn't feel like it. I didn't think that was necessary. And my soup was fantastic. You guys, actually, you need to make that soup. It was really good. I really liked it. It was very, very tasty. My husband had it for supper. He said it was good. And I left some with my technician. She had a bite of it before I left and she was like, oh my gosh, this is wonderful. So anyways, that is it as far as food. I just thought I would give you an update. The soup was awesome. It really was. So now let's look at exercises. All right, so there's 5 exercises. Obviously the alternating bicep curls, that should not be too bad. The upright rows should not be too bad. Deadlifts, we've done that before. I think, yeah. The shrugs we've done before. This whole renegade rows thing, I'm probably not gonna do that with weights. I'm probably actually just gonna do that on my hands and see how that goes. We'll see. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see. I'll try and do it. I'll let you guys know how it turned out in just a little bit. All right guys, so we are done exercising and yeah, all those exercises went really well, with the exception of the last one. Didn't work out the greatest for me. So bicep curls, I did 15 pounds. The rows where you just go straight up, did 10, 15, nope, 8. 15, 8, 10, 10. Yeah, did 8 pounds on that one. Then the deadlifts where you're kind of bent over and you stand up, that was 10.
No, 15.
I did 15 on that one?
Yeah.
15, 8, 15, 10, 10. Oh, yeah. I keep trying to remind myself what it is that I do throughout them so that I am ready to tell you what it is that I did. I must be tired. And then the shoulder shrugs, I did 10. And then these renegade rows, rather than being like in a plank position, I just went ahead and did it on my knees. And it still was just a fine workout. I was just very, very concerned about my wrist and hurting myself by putting that much weight on my wrist, like in the plank position. So did that on my knees and it worked out okay. And it still, I still could totally feel it in my backs of my arms and stuff. So yeah, it worked out great. So that is it for now. I don't have anything exciting to tell you other than tomorrow morning is shopping, which is kind of inconvenient because that's right in the middle of when I want to eat. So not exactly sure how that's going to work out. But again, soup was really good. If you want to make a blended soup, totally make that. It was delicious. Hands down, that was a good meal. Okay, I will see you guys again tomorrow and hope you had a great day.